Hey guys, you're welcome back to Faith's Pulse. My name is Faith and I create meaningful living and lifestyle videos here on YouTube. If this is your first time here, thank you so much for stopping by. Please do me well to subscribe to the channel. That way you don't miss future uploads. And subscription is free, so that means you don't need to pay any money whatsoever. To the returning subscribers, you have my heart as always. You guys are the real MVP. Thank you so much. Today on the channel, we will be talking about something very interesting, relationships, that is. And from the title you can tell that it's just going to be me answering Google's top 20, not 20 now, maybe 11 questions. There are actually a lot of questions, but I'll just pick 11 questions that people have been asking Google about relationships. Guys, I saw this video on Sugar's Diary. She's a Nigerian YouTuber based in Nigeria, and I thought it would be nice to give my what I think about these questions as well. So if you'd want to see my answers to these questions and just have a chat with me, or get to know what I think about relationships and what people are asking Google, then definitely keep on watching. Welcome back, guys. If I delve into the questions, I always like to ask you questions, so let me know in the comment section, what's the weirdest question you've ever typed on Google search? Like, I know that we basically go to Google for everything, like every symptom we have, project, whatever it is. Everybody seems to think that Google is our best friend, and I think so as well. So let me know in the comment section, what's the most weird question you've asked Google about relationships. So I'll just go ahead and start answering these questions. So there are 11 questions, and trust me, they are actually very funny. You'll be amazed at the kind of questions that we ask Google, guys. So the first question is my boyfriend or girlfriend cheating on me? So I have just one question. Why are you not asking your girlfriend or your boyfriend? Why are you going to Google to ask Google? Google doesn't live in the house with you. Google isn't there with your boyfriend or your girlfriend. So guys, I feel like if you are in this situation, or if you're having this type of thought, like if you have to think about if your girlfriend or your boyfriend is cheating on you, that's the first sign that you should speak up. Like, ask him, ask her, guy, what's going on? Babe, what's going on? I feel this way, and is it okay for me to feel this way? Is there something you want to tell me? Don't go to Google. Google will just give you answers that other people have put on the web, and that's basically not what you're going through as well. Well, you might find tips, but I'm just of the opinion that if you need to ask, or if you get to the point where you're asking if your girlfriend or your boyfriend is cheating on you, then you should have a conversation with your partner, basically. So that's just what I think. You don't need to go to Google to ask if your partner is cheating on you. Ask him, ask her. That's why communication is key. So yeah, that's my take on that. Google will not give you answers that are peculiar to your case, because people have different reasons why they have this thoughts in their head. So yeah, go to your partner, ask him, ask her, speak out, and let him or her just know how you're feeling, and from their response you can tell if they are actually cheating or if they're not. Moving on to the next question. How do I ask someone out? So I'm going to assume that it's a guy or guys that have typed this question on Google, because guys are the ones who tend to always ask people out. But man, in this day and age, we have ladies who are being very bold and shooting their shot and asking guys out as well. So whichever person it is, so whether you're a female or you're a male, asking Google what's tips on how to ask someone out. I'll just say that I don't necessarily think that you should just come out upfront and say, I want to date you. I feel like it is always going to be weird if you just meet someone for the first time and you go, I want to date you, especially when you've not built any relationship between each other, or you don't have mutual friends, or you've never really spent time together. So I'll just say that the first step is to build a relationship with this person. And by relationship, I don't mean come out strong or come out direct. Just make sure this person is comfortable around you, show that you care, ask this person questions, daily updates, just to try to be part of that person's activity, especially if you have the opportunity to always be in the same space For example, you go to school together, you go to church together, or you go to the same gym, or you are in like in the same dance group or whatever. So there has to be like something that you both are, you both have interest in, or you both are able to do together. I feel like the more comfortable he or she is close to you, then it's easier for you to, weigh your options, so that you can know the points where you go ahead to say, oh, I really like you, what do you think about us taking this further or more seriously? But I feel like you should always start with friendship. There has to be a common ground, so you should either be friends or colleagues or schoolmates or classmates, or in the same choir group, in the same dance group. But it's always easier when there's like a common ground. So that's what my take on this question is. And the third question is, how many dates should you have before you are exclusive? So from my understanding, exclusive is like, okay, so what points do you actually say we are now dating and we are committed to just each other? So this question is basically saying, how many dates should one go on before you get to the point where you want to get it done? So like I said in the other question, for the other question, right? It wouldn't even feel like a date when you're spending time together in class or at the gym, or when you build so much trust or communication or friendship amongst both of you, hanging out will just become something that happens naturally, and you just have to look forward to spending time with this person, or wanting to see the person daily. So for this question, how many dates should we have before we become exclusive? You must have built some level of comfort around each other, or friendship or communication, before you even start going on dates. And then sometimes it's just 1 or 2 dates, sometimes it's 3 or 4. So it's really not, you really cannot put a number to the number, you really cannot put a figure to the number of dates you should have or you can have before you're exclusive. It's basically in the content of the communication you have, like the kind of things you say to each other, the way you start your day. Do you start your day together? Like, I feel like those are the things that can actually determine the point where you should say, okay, we are exclusive, or can we be exclusive. It's really not dependent on the dates, because I could go on dates with you and not really get that vibe or get that comfort I'm looking for. So again, build friendship, build comfort, make sure that you both like the same things, and even if you don't like the same things at the beginning, make sure that you're both open-minded and can fit into each other's interests. So yeah, basically, number of dates does not count in my opinion. You just need to know the content of conversations you have, and the time, like basically how you spend your time together. If it's interesting, if it's something you like to do over and over again, then of course you can start to think about going exclusive. But if you have to endure being with this person, or you have to just keep looking at the time while you're with this person, then now there's really no way you're going to be exclusive, or you should think of being exclusive with this person. So the next question is, why is he not calling back? So it says, why is he not calling back? But I'm just going to make this general, because I know that some guys also think, why is she not calling back? So it's funny how I used to be in the position to always answer or respond to the reason why I'm not calling back. And I'm like, I have work, I'm busy, I have a life, I have a family. I am not always with my phone waiting to respond to people. But then again, it is I'll always say, if it's somebody you really care about, you would make out time to respond to the person. And it happens naturally, because if you're communicating with this person, he or she will know, okay, between this time to this time, my partner is going to be at work, or is going to be in the meeting, or will be driving, or probably taking a nap. So this is something that constant communication can actually make things clearer. So for instance, you're having a relationship with somebody, and you wake up in the morning, or you start up your day without knowing what your partner's plans are, or knowing if he or she is going to be driving long distance, or if he or she's going to be in a meeting while at work, and then suddenly you're upset that he or she is not calling you, or he or she is not texting you back. There's always going to be that clash. So it's important to start off with communicating very well. So if you wake up in the morning or the night before, tell each other what you guys will be doing the next day. That way it's easier to know when he or she will be having like a downtime or not checking his or her phone. And you don't have to come up with crazy ideas like, why is he not calling me? Is he cheating? Or why is he not calling me? Is he stepping out on me or something? Guys, ladies, it's very easy for us to start having crazy imaginations. But trust me, if you're communicating all the time, if you're telling each other the things you're doing, throughout the day, it's easier for both of you to just go ahead with your business and not worry about what he or she is doing, especially if you trust each other when you say things to each other. So in my opinion, don't go asking Google why is he or she not calling me. It's your job to ask each other what you're going to be doing throughout the day. Plan your activities together and let the day just come. You wouldn't even have to think about why is he or she not calling, because you already know the period where he or she will be busy. And I'm just going to say, put in individual effort to make sure that you know what each other are doing. And if you have a free time, always send in the notes. It's always nice to keep the communication going, even though you will see each other like at the end of the day. At the end of the day, for instance, if you live together. So I'll just say communication is important. Communicating constantly is more important. So that's my take on that question. And the next one is, how do I make a long distance relationship work? Guys, I'm laughing at this question because I feel like it's something I had to go through at some point in my life. So first of all, I'll just say that you need to trust each other first, because if there's no trust me, you're going to be, would I say, worried, right? So if you trust each other, then that's the first step. And then the second step I would say is communicate constantly. Like, not just communicate, but make sure it's constant. So like every day you're starting your day together, regardless of where you guys are or what country or time zone you guys find yourself in. Communicate constantly. The third thing I would say is have a distraction, not a bad distraction. So for instance, have an interest, a hobby, or maybe a job that you go to, something that takes your time and helps you spend your time meaningfully. So for weekends, don't just sit at home and sulk about being on your own or not being able to go out on dates with your partner. Find something that can help you spend your time meaningfully. For instance, you can decide to volunteer, you can decide to help motherless babies or less privileged people, or just find somewhere or something that your time can be used meaningfully, and you don't necessarily have to stay on your own and whine about not being with your partner. So long distance relationships can actually work, but it takes your own individual effort. You need to work on yourself and make sure you don't have so many free periods that will just make you an idle mind. Is what the devil's workshop. So make sure you don't have too many idle moments. Spend time with family, spend time with trusted friends, spend time doing meaningful things. Having a job also helps, because Monday to Friday you're just going to work and spending time contributing to your company or whatever it is you do for your 9 to 5. And then of course, communicating constantly and trust are things that can help for long distance relationships. I'd like to know what Google thinks about this, because this is something I never had to do. I don't think I had to go on Google to ask how do you make a long distance relationship work, because I just always feel like when you work on yourself as an individual, you make the job easier for your partner or whoever it is you are that has to share in your time or in your moment. So that's what I think about this question. The next question is, how do you date your best friend? So I know some people will say it's always good to date your best friend, and I will say it is important that you make sure that your best friend has the same feeling as you before you go ahead to ask him or her out, because some people really just want to be friends, and there are things that relationship would there are times when relationship comes into the picture, and things just start to go bad. That's why people sometimes don't like to put a name to the kind of relationship they have. Sometimes they don't even want to get married because they're scared that once they get married, the things that you hear happening to married people will start happening in their relationships. So it's fine if you decide to date your best friend, but just make sure that the both of you are on the same page, and so that there are no surprises. You need to be sure that your friendship has tested time, so that once you now put a name to like whatever it is you guys have, so if you're going from best friend to, let's say, future partner, sometimes it's easier, but you're still going to face the things that happens when you probably start to live together, or when you start to see each other as much. So yeah, make sure your relationship has tested, has gone through the test of time. Make sure that you both are on the same page, so that nobody starts to whine and say, "Oh, we should have been best friends." You really don't want to do that. Again, I'd like to see what Google thinks about it. Guys, I've answered like 6 questions, and I'd like to know what you guys think. So make sure you're putting your answers in the description box as well. No, not the description box, now in the comment section below. Make sure you're answering the questions as well. I'd like to know what you guys think. So the next question is, how do I break up with my boyfriend or girlfriend? The things we ask on Google. So how do I break up with my boyfriend or girlfriend? Honestly, I do not know, but I would just say that first of all, I'll say that it's good that it happens on a very neutral ground. So it's not like you're exchanging words, or fighting each other physically or anything. So make sure it's on a neutral ground. Make sure both parties are happy. Okay, maybe not happy immediately, but make sure it's something that wouldn't keep hurting you, and then you find it difficult to move on. So for instance, if they call you, answer their calls. Always know what you want. You don't want to say, "I'm breaking up with you today," and tomorrow you're going back to him or to her. So I just say make sure it's a neutral ground, and make sure you both have a conversation about it. Basically, that's what I think. So let me know, if you want to break up with your boyfriend or girlfriend, how exactly do you do it? Because I know people have. I was returning from work with a colleague the other day, and he was telling me how his ex-girlfriend was like always very violent and clearing up his account and things like that. And it just made me think, okay, so these are two people who cared for each other at some point, and then you finally break up, and then this is the kind of story you tell. So it just got me thinking that people actually go through different things in relationships, and what works for A will not work for B. So it's always important that find that common ground when you decide to stay on your own or go your different ways, so that you don't have somebody saying ugly things about you, when of course you had beautiful moments while you were together. So that's why I think make sure it's a neutral ground, have a conversation about it, and yeah, you all can move on peacefully. Next question is, what is ghosting? So ghosting is like a slang that people use to say when someone doesn't show up. So for instance, you say you want to go on a date with this person, and you as the guy or girl gets to the venue, and the person who you're supposed to go on a date with doesn't show up. So that's what you call ghosting. Or you'd say you give your number to somebody, and you'd be like, "Okay, I'll call you," and you keep calling and the person doesn't pick the call. Or another way could be, okay, so you ask that you get the lady's number or guy's number, and then the girl or the guy goes, "No, just give me a number, I'll call you," and you wait and wait and wait, and this person ends up not calling you. So that's what it means to ghost somebody. So ghosting is just a slang for not showing up or not turning up, or literally ghosting, like going ghosts. You just disappear from the face of the earth, and this person cannot even get across to you anymore. That's what ghosting is, guys. I'm really enjoying this question. Like, it's funny the kind of things you see people asking on Google. There are lots of questions on Google, but like I just decided to bring it down to this number so that it doesn't get so much. So that's all the questions I'll be answering for today. Please let me know in the comment section if you enjoyed watching. Let me also know your answers, and yeah, I look forward to shooting more fun videos like this. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to give me a thumbs up. Also subscribe to the channel, leave me a comment, and let me know what other videos you'd like me to shoot. Yeah, so that's it, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and see you in my next video.